Welcome. How are we doing? Okay, just bear with me a sec. So today we're going to be playing 2D6 Run, but we're also going to have a look at the UK Games Expo. So we're going to have a little talk about that and what I'm going to be doing, what stock we've got and things. And also the secret saying, which I'm going to put on the screen now. So just bear with me one sec. I'll catch up on that chat. Secret saying. Just putting it up on the screen, bear with me. Alright. Okay, right, I'll get the chat up now. Sorry about that. Alright. Here we are, we'll test this out as well. Alright. Yeah. If you come to the UK Games Expo and you see me there, just say I'm here for the blood ritual, okay? And then I'm going to give you a free gift. It's not going to be like a whole game or anything. It's just going to be something extra for 2D6 Dungeon. So there is a product, if you like, or an item that I give out. But I'm not going to say what it is yet. You'll just have to see when you arrive. And then after, we'll have some way of getting that to people, potentially. Obviously, if you're not there and you're in another country, you may have to pay for postage. But we'll sort something out. I'm sure that won't be a problem. So I'll cover what that is when we have the stream after the UK Games Expo, which will be probably the Thursday after. Or I may even be doing some live broadcasts. So yes, from the expo. So that. Hi Nick, how you doing? Mark, good to see you. Greetings. How does the blood ritual start? Well. Maybe it's a bit dubious. I don't know, but it's. I'm not going to talk about it. It's just something that you have to say, or say I'm referring to the blood ritual, and then I will give you the item. It's a 2d6 dungeon, so it's going to be something like that. David, how are you doing? Will there be donuts at the ritual? No, because I'm a celiac. Timothy, how you doing? Alan, good. Wish I could go to the UK Games Expo. I know. I'm sorry about that. So it's just one of these things. I think that I think it's difficult, isn't it? You don't want to miss people out, but you have to really try and offer something for the people that come. So, whereas I feel bad about not being able to do it for people who aren't there, for the people who come, it's kind of like a little reward. If they come and say hello, they will get this particular thing. But as I say, it will be available afterwards as well. You can see on the screen we have the map. Well, part of the map is it's massive place. There are two big halls, and then there's a third hall, I think, where they have gameplay and board games set up and stuff like that. And good to see you, Bill. Thanks for the YouTube. You got a YouTube subscription there. Thank you. Mark says you should have had your stand in Toby Street in Hall 2. Is there a Toby Street? No. But you can see what we've got here on this map is basically we're near enough in the middle, which is fantastic because that just means that we get lots of traffic the whole time. before we were in Hall 2 and we were to one side, and it meant that towards the end of the day there weren't as many people around, which was a shame, because obviously you want to spread the word, sell some stuff, and all those types of things. So yeah, we're really pleased with the position. I will look on the plan. I'll make a Mark. I'll make I'll make a beeline for Toby Street when I get into the hall. Night, Cody. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, we're building up for the UK Games Expo. We've got a stand there, a stall, whatever they call it, and we're right sort of in the middle. And didn't want to go on too long about it, but it's going to be up on the screen if you want to take a closer look. And yeah, the secret saying is, "I'm here for the blood ritual." Then I'll give you a special gift from underneath the counter. It's not for bloodletting purposes, okay? Right. So today, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking my time to do some playthrough on 2d6 Realm. So let me just get onto this. There we go. Okay. So you've got the new dice as well there. If you want those, you can get those through the late pledge on the Kickstarter page. So let's go over a little bit about what I've been up to this last week. It has been very intense. I've been careering towards getting version 0.91 there done, and I have got it finished. It has been quite a tricky thing to do, to be honest. It's been really tricky, but I've been pulling it together, and I pointed it out. I haven't been able to staple it because it's so thick, and it's in really small print. I don't know whether you're going to be able to read that on screen if you were looking on a mobile phone or anything, but I can read it, and I've got to try and save ink and paper, so I've had to point it out smaller. It will be in a different font as well when it goes into the book and the normal layout that we're used to. In the book there will be a border of some kind. I think you can actually see that border on the Kickstarter page. It's more kind of like trees, sort of symbolise the realm. And so I've been doing that. What are the kind of key things? I've simplified some of the building mechanics for the actual buildings. I've taken out one or two things which some of the content I've taken out really wasn't needed, and in fact it will be added probably to a free update later on. Okay, so I've really kind of tried to focus down on what this game is, the core of the game, because this is what things are going to be built off of. And I don't want too much stuff in it that kind of detracts from the main theme of you exploring and building your land, your realm. So, for example, anything that was related to potentially fending off like troops, or like, for example, the garrison. We didn't need the garrison in the end. We could just use the lookout tower, for example, as a type of building. So I've really kind of streamlined it in that respect, which is really needed because we also need to get the page count down. This game is more crunchy than 2d6 Dungeon, and it has, and I've talked about it before, it's largely come about because we've got different goals with this game. It's not like a dungeon you go through each level. You just got one level, and you've got to find quests and missions within that one level. Okay, on the land, so you have to. So I've been really kind of focusing on expansion. It's a peaceful land. The enemy is below land, so there's a kind of. I'm trying to keep that clear in my mind. So today we're going to start slightly afresh. we're going to still use Cornelius, but we're going to be using a new map, creating a new map. We did start before with another map, but I've got some, because of the changes, I've also increased the grid size on the map just slightly. Let me see if this looks better. Is that better? Increase the grid size so you can get more detail in if you want to. What have we got? Nick, definitely hard to get that page count down. Yes, it is hard, but we are. But I've done it. Like, we had a land encounter which is called the Occupied Tower. So that was a couple of pages, and I looked at it and I thought, hang on a minute, I've already got the tower which you can explore, a bit like the one level dwelling or the secluded opening. They're mini layers. We don't need an occupied tower in the land, but I can insert the tower into some other areas, and it kind of does the same thing. So you can kind of streamline it. Now, the content for the occupied tower encounter land page is being taken and put into the tower. So we're retaining that element there. So that is really key. We've made a few changes to some of the sheets. I've made a few changes to some of the sheets, and I'll quickly go through what those sheets are. But what I don't want to do today is dwell too much on the minutiae. I'm not going to go over each thing really in huge amount of detail. I'm just going to kind of explain what we've got, and then we're going to try and get on and try and do some exploring. Once I've played with this a little bit, and after the UK Games Expo, I'm going to then start putting this into the layout for the book, and that won't take me anywhere near as long as actually writing it and getting the text right. So that's going to be a much simpler and quicker process, which is fantastic because we've got deadlines, we've got other projects to start working on or to carry on working with. So we've got a lot on the plate. So what sheets have we got today? Well, we've got the main core, the core rulebook. So that is that one for the minute. We have got the character sheet. Now, it's an expansion of 2.6 Dungeon, as we've talked about before. And we have Cornelius here. He's got a certain amount of health. He's a level 3, so we're going to put him at 30 on here. And 30 on there. Hopefully you can see that. And I'm going to slightly increase his some of the equipment he's got, because we can just project him forward a little bit. He's done a bit more exploration. Maybe he's been in a dungeon level. Going to give him a mental whip. It's got these particular hack, incisive heft, level 3. If we look in the book, level 3 apprentice. He's got. I'm going to take this +1 off because he had a temporary +1 for the last place that he explored. So he's actually got discipline +2. Because he's a level 3, which I should have updated last time. His shift is +2 still, precision is +1, and the base hit points are 3. Cody, glad to catch a stream. I'm severely out of the loop about Realm and your design journals. Sorry about that. Been extremely busy and got into a slight accident I had to recover from, but I'm excited. Blimey, Cody, I hope you're okay, my friend. Brett, did I say hello? How you doing, my friend? Should you give a scroll of fireball or reflexes? 2 scrolls I got in level 1 dungeon. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. So the scroll. Gonna up his gold as well, so we can. So mental whip does 10 damage, as I knew. 10 damage. No dispel doubles. And then we're going to put a fireball on there as well. And that causes 20 damage. Fireball has a 4 and a 4 as a dispel double, which is affects your casting. Okay, we've got a potion of healing plus 10, and then we'll put another potion on there. Let's do plus a potion of finesse. Just writing this in here. And that is plus 2 shift for 1 whole combat. For 1 combat. Okay, we did pick up a few items before. Some stuff that is of value. And we'll say we sold quite a bit of that. I'm going to keep the Dolath ring. We're going to sell the mace, and we'll just argue, say we got 30 gold for that, plus because he's done some other exploration. Let's go with 100, and let's go 280 gold. I know that's quite a sudden increase, but the reason is I want to be able to kind of demo some of the mechanisms in the game. So you need gold, and to be able to build the buildings. I'm not going to worry about the gods or side quests. Now, I've also printed out the narrative moments, large items, additional notes, small items, so we can keep a track of that for this particular occasion. And we have the Realm Ledger. Now, this is where you record things that relate to your realm. So you've got your gold. You can transfer it from here to there, but we won't for the moment. Gems, plot income, that's income per turn, wellness, your claim title, your claim area, and your landowner title. So at the moment we're governor, so write that in, because that is your first title you can hold. Don't have to write it on here. I found a space for it on the Realm Ledger. Down here, and title claim area, which we will update as we acquire plots that increase our land. Now, we'll add stuff in there. So that's your Realm Ledger. You don't really have to do anything. You just, as stuff happens, you just tick things off. And we've got the Caladir favour points down here, which we add and gain as we make offerings to Caladir, this is the new god card. You may well have seen this. Michael, good to see you. I've not seen the stream in a while. That sheet looks amazing. Thank you. Yeah, there's lots of things, secrets, legends, landowners, things that you can interact with, and you don't really have to worry too much about what this means, because as you explore, it just tells you to put bits in different areas, and then you can once you've got a certain amount, then you can you will gain a bonus of some sort that you follow and that you read about in the book. So there's that there. And we also have, I printed this out, the fabled Fabled weapon and mythical armor. Now this is Namer 869. Good evening, my friend. This is something that sort of comes a little bit later, but it allows you to build a your fabled your basically your legendary equipment that you need for the legendary dungeon, and that's a kind of mid-game to end-game type situation. We also have the maps. We're going to be drawing the map on here using my pencil here. Hopefully it's not too dark. I think that's okay. I'll probably get a bit closer into it there. And then on here we have got our building register, our house and manor building register, the land log, the unclaimed land log. Alright. Imagine you can't take the fabled weapon into a normal dungeon. That's correct. Any of the 10 levels? Probably too strong. Yes, you can only use the fabled weapon, legendary armor, the mythical armor in the next expansion. So it's kind of like bridging the gap between the two, and it's a bit of like a goal, a long-term goal for this particular setup. So yeah, it serves that function. It's very much about adding goals in game. There were the quests as well, which you can get, and all different types of things like that. Awesome. James, what kind of cards are you planning on making with 2d6 Realm? Well, we have, that's a good question, James. We're going to have a double pack like normal. And it will be, I think we will. I mean, it should be. So we'll have a new God card. We will have building cards that look like this. They look quite different. You can't really see it there because of the light. Building cards. And yeah, lots more creatures that fit in, hopefully, with the landscape. We have the mushroom card, identifying mushrooms. Anything else? That's largely going to be it. That should be that's quite a lot of cards. So we've got all the kind of usual stuff throwing in there. We might throw in some other bits and pieces. Depends. Probably some little aids, some card aids for orders, because this game is slightly more complicated. But it relies on some of the your 2d6 rules. Okay. Right, so I think we will get started now. Let me just set the scene. So we're living in Corradine. I think most of you know this, have heard this. Corradine is a fantasy world. Humans and variants of them are the predominant overland species, but monsters and goblins exist beneath the surface or in isolated locations. Magic is ever present, although rarely seen, and is often alchemical and bound to some aspect of the physical world or nature. This power originates from the great monoliths of the god Caladir, known as the Robed Architects. Caladir remains the primary god on the surface, despite many minor deities that are worshipped in everyday life. But for many, her presence has long ago faded into memory. The once magical kingdom is now a realm of mystery and low magic. And before we really get into it, I'd like to thank all the testers who have contributed to the corrections that go into this. There will still be some corrections and some streamlining, but we're largely there now. Jeff, in particular, has done a sterling job, and I know he's not here yet. Maybe he'll turn up, but he has been done some amazing work. So, all right. So, right, don't need to say the 3 games you can explore. Well, don't really need to worry too much about that. So we're going to explore, build our realm, encounter, gather stuff. So Cornelius, our level 3 adventurer, has been appointed some land, his homestead. He's built a home, he's got a wall around it, and he's going to go out and explore the land because he's been pushed out into the wilderness and established a little spot, and he's going to explore the land around Overland. So 2d6, Cody says, so 2d6 dungeon is the beginning, and after that, or in between levels, you can play the realm with the same character. Yes, correct. All the while, your main objective goal here is defeat the legendary dungeon to win. You will get to the legendary dungeon. Your goal at the moment is to make sure you're a legend, a level 10 character, and you've got a homestead that's bringing some income so you can build your weapon. So there's kind of like little goals along the way. Are there dungeons in 2d6 realms? Sorry for my English. No problem, Hernan. Good to see you. There is one dungeon within your kind of vicinity. So that's the dungeon that you explore. And once you reach level 10, that dungeon is now done. And your area is kind of cleansed, if you like. You've kind of dealt with the situation. There's still lairs around, like the Sunken Swamp or the Infernal Caves. And the 2 new lairs that will be released as well once this game is done, which we've been working on. And it's kind of like one dungeon per character. So you can do 5 levels of the dungeon, then build your realm and go back into the dungeon and fight on, come out and mix the 2 up. So there is only one dungeon. Then you can retire your character after the legendary dungeon. I'd imagine so. A bit like that scene where Conan is sitting on the throne at the end of the film. Kind of a bit like that. And then the occasional haunted location and stuff like that. So there is more adventure beyond the dungeon and this Overland thing. You can just explore the land. You don't have to build if you don't want to. You can go around and explore and encounter and have different experiences. So there's that. So Cornelius has been given his land. He's got his homestead here. And we're going to draw the homestead in. Yeah, just hopefully we aren't depressed on that throne long. No, absolutely. That's the plan. Okay, so let's put the homestead in here. Let me try and get the space for the book next to me. Okay. Alrighty. So where are we? Let's try and bring this along here. Oh, sorry, dodgy camera work. Okay. That is straight. Let me just straighten this up here. That looks about right. We'll make sure it's straight. Okay. Let's put the homestead in here. Let's draw a little homestead in here. Now, I'm gonna try and add some detail to these things. Just try and make it fun and detailed. This is his little. It's got some walls going on here. Hopefully you can see this. If we get some very kind folks in chat there, you can tell me whether the image is clear. That would be very handy. So there's the homestead with the walls going around it, and there's the entrance out here. And we're going to have some kind of building inside here. Could be what, stables maybe. Imagine him on his horse. Just like that. I can see it well enough. Good. Annoyingly, it does look a little bit dark. Is it a bit dark, do you think? That is the question. Let me just try it. I know this sounds bizarre, but the light, if I turn this light off, just for a minute on here, is that too? That's light on, light off. It's almost, it's so bizarre how light works. If it was natural light, it'd be easier. If I turn all the light off around and doesn't seem to make any difference whatsoever. How annoying. No, that's got to be on. Maybe if I have this light on. Hang on. Is that better? That's just like a bright light where my head is now, isn't it? A dry erase board and black fine markers should show good on screen. Yeah. The problem is, I will try and... Yeah, that's not working. Maybe you should draw on the light table in front of in future to illuminate it that way. Maybe I should draw on the light table. Let me just up the brightness on the screen. Hang on. Bear with me. Let's see if we can effects, filters, masking, color, brightness. There we go. That's better. Okay. Right. We'll go with that. Just up the brightness on the video there. Okay. So we have a homestead here, and in there we've got some stables. We might have some trees sort of going on around here in the homestead. Okay, some grass. It's not all necessarily going to be 3D like that. It's going to be a mix. Much brighter. Looks good. Fantastic. Good. It's always so tricky to do it when you're dealing with paper. All right. So to explore a plot. Okay. All right. We need the. Hang on. There's another card I need to get out here, which is really important, which is your round tracker. Here we go. So we're going to have the round tracker. That is the round tracker, and you can't really see it because of the light, which is really irritating. Right, so I'm going to keep this off screen, all right, but you can see what this is. Basically, it's your round tracker. Round one, it's month and your month tracker. All right, so every time I have a round, there's 6 rounds in a turn. A turn is a month, and then we will work through the year. Okay, so this I will keep off, and I will update it. We can't. There's too many things on the screen, but that is over there, and I will let you know what round it is. It's a shame I haven't got like a little tracker I can click on the screen, but I'm just not that technical, unfortunately. But what we do have is the homestead in the middle here. Hey Brian, how you doing? Good to see you. Hope everybody's okay. Right. So, in the book, and lots of people have contributed to this. I've also started to put more bullet points in with lists of things, and these bullet points will be lifted and put into another handy bookmark, but also I think probably maybe on a card as well, some cards. So we've got some cards that we can lay out, which will show you the system. But so here's the process of exploring a new plot. So my guys in here, we're going to head out into one of these plots, and these grids are slightly bigger, are up the size by about 0.5 centimetre on these, so you can get more detail in. And we're going to explore a plot, one of these plots around. You can explore any one that you like around here. Prestige P123, how are you doing, my friend? First thing you do is you roll to determine type of land. Then you determine claim or ownership. Determine claim ownership. Encounter the land. So there's a land type encounter table, which is each type of land has a table that we will roll on, and then that will give some kind of event. And if we get any mini layers, we will explore those as well. Although having said that, the tower isn't ready to explore. It's not quite finished. And one other as well, but we've got a fair few there. John, good to see you. So, this updated version will go out to the testers again very soon. So if you are testing, you can finish there for the moment, and we will basically have the new version for you to have a look at, and it's got quite a few changes in it, which you will see once you get into that. Mike, who just found this. Good to have you here, Mike. Tanis68, welcome. Good evening, all. Having a game of Marvel Champions while watching. Fantastic. Oh boy, is that so? You're playing with somebody there, Tanis, or is that the solo version? Is there a solo version of that one? That'd be interesting to know. And then roll on the 5 plots or more table if the land you found a plot area string is larger than 4 plots. Okay, so there's a process here. Roll to determine the type of land. So let's do that first. And to do that, we need to roll on TLAT1, which is at the back here. And yes, there will be a little bit of table flipping. They're all listed alphabetically. There's no index as yet. That will go in, one of the last things to go in. Okay, so here we have the land type table and solo. Nice. Is that good? Is it good solo, Tess? I assume it is. You're playing it. Right. Let's do this. Are we ready? Primary is blue. 63. A stone platform. All right, so I'm going to draw in a stone platform. Let's just say that was this one. I really should kind of point out which one it is first. So we have here some kind of stone platform. Now this might have been the foundation to an old temple or something like that. We're going to find out a bit more about it. So it's kind of there. Now in the book there is also a there's also kind of like a guide to the icons, simplified versions and a more complex version. I'm just going to sort of ad lib today, as you can do. You can do it however you like. I'm just going to try not to sort of bog myself down with too much looking up. Just try and do it as organically as I can. Having designed them, I do have a picture in my head as to what they're like. So we've got the stone platform here. Now this might change slightly, so I'm kind of doing it roughly. Now we need to establish who the ownership. It's a Fantasy Flight LCG card game. I know it. I know it, and it's one that I've kind of looked at before and thought I'd like to give that a go. Nice solo and cooperative experience. Spent far too much money on it, and expansions. The expansions do look very cool. That page would make a good tile set to print out. Exactly, James, you're not wrong. That is definitely something to think about. When we go to this area here, I plan to slot in with each one a little picture of an example of what it is, like grassland here. So let's go to the stone platform, listed alphabetically. I couldn't staple this because it's so thick. I had to put sort of sellotape at the bottom, top and bottom. So we've got stone platform here. Now this is a unique plot. So there are 3 types of plot. There's area, there's string, and there's unique. And the uniques are single plots that are unusual, I guess. Not your standard life. Now they will have a base land, and the reason is you can build on lots of different areas. So if the base land, say for example, is rocky, that's a type of land that you can build on, and we'll find out in a sec. So let's roll 2d6. 7. All right. Okay. The irony isn't lost on me here. Let's go 6. Okay. Just because 7 is explore the tower, and that's the only thing that isn't finished. You come upon an old stone platform and are surprised to find that a travelling circus has set up a practice to practice their acrobatics show. The platform is wide and flat and must have been part of a sturdy structure. The lead performer approaches and asks if you want to watch. You send word to your realm and people seem interested to come and watch. Gain 1 temporary wellness for 2 turns. Now, hey Paul, how you doing? 2d6 looks really interesting. 2d6 dungeon. I love the layers of complexity that you are building. Well, thank you. Thank you, Paul. It has been a fantastic journey. 2d6 Dungeon has done really well, and I just love seeing people's experiences, maps, and all that stuff. The Facebook group is so active. It's just fantastic. So this is another interesting thing. So sometimes you'll have events or encounters where it will affect your realm. And now, as it happens, I don't have any houses as it yet. Although, I need land to build it on. So, unfortunately, this temporary wellness isn't really going to do me any good. But I will show you where it goes. There's not much you can avoid. This will happen just a little bit. Sometimes you'll encounter things. I've got temporary wellness on the realm ledger there. Now this has an effect on unrest within your realm. So if realm wellness. Have a quick look at it now. Realm wellness is a new stat for 2d6 realm that measures the happiness and stability of realm, which is separate from the unrest you can accumulate in individual houses and manors. It reflects the how pleasant your realm is, whether there is anything lingering which might cause concern or any events which may improve confidence. The realm wellness begins at 0. Apply any modifiers even if you have no houses or manors. If you happen upon something that may adjust realm wellness, this represents the type of environment new arrivals are coming into. When your realm wellness is -4 or below, +1 unrest to 1 house or manor at the end of the turn. So you've got to watch it. So, and this is probably something that I could add to the sheet. If your realm wellness is -4 or below, +1 unrest to a house or manor at the end of the turn. Now you record unrest on the building register, which we will talk about when that actually happens. So this is round 1, and so we've got a platform. Not much has happened. I've sat down. I've seen these performers perform, which is, you know, you can imagine you've got like open land people traveling through it, and just happens that there are performers that, and they're in this area here. But, and let's actually, we need to give this a tag as well. This is important. So, the tag consists of, and you can see a little illustration here. Oh, we should have established whether it was owned first. Let's do that quickly. As I was saying, determine claim ownership. When you determine claim ownership, you roll a die, and if you get the process of, here we go. This is going to be on a little sheet as well. So for this land, on a 3 to 6, there is no other claimant, and you can claim the land. All right, we ready for this? So there's no other ownership, but if it's a 1 or 2, the land has already been claimed by a landowner, and you have to establish who it is. But on this occasion, there isn't. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it, because we will. Now, I'm going to claim this land, which means it goes on to my land log. And there's an unclaimed land log, and there's a land log. So this is going to be, and we write in the top corner here, we put in a little square here. Remember, there's a little combo. Put in here. You put in the number at the top, and then the type of land underneath it. So this is 1, okay, and then the type of land is a stone platform, and that has its own code. Stone platform is SP. No surprises there. So that is the first land we've explored. I put it on here. So this is the land log. So we write it in here. 1 SP. The land type is a stone platform, but it has a base land because it's unique. Remember, we rolled a 6 stone platform. The base land is rocky with a size of 30. Okay, so it's rocky with a size of 30. Actually, it's the size of 1. Size of 1, and your total building points, which is 30 here. Okay. Now the rank of the land is based upon the platform there, which is 2, and your stone platform, which is 2. So the rank will be 4, which means the taxes will be 4 silver at the end of each turn. End of each turn, the end of the month, you pay taxes. Okay, so there was a troop, performing troop. Put this in here. Just put performing troop there. No need to worry about anything else. Total building points are 30. So the maximum you can get is 100. So that'd be like grassland, for example. But if there's like rocks and the area is not very good for building on, there are things in the way, then it will be diminished to something like 30. It's getting a feel of 2d6 kingdoms. Well, it's 2d6 realm. So it is that kind of sense. So I can actually, as it happens, and what we'll do is we're going to build. Let's get to the building section. Just find that here. Here we go. Begin constructing a building. All right. You can only build on barren land, rocky grassland, hills, meadows, woodlands, fields, shrubland, and burnt woodlands. Okay, there are something like 34, 33 types of land. You can only build on that particular selection. Okay, each plot that can be built on has 100 points, which represents the size of the land. But that may depend. Sometimes the size of the plot can be reduced because of circumstances of land features. This will be recorded in the individual entry, the land type encounter table, which we saw before. So it said before this size is 30. So we've got a plot here, a plot that I own. Okay. So because I've got a certain amount of gold, I'm going to build a structure. We'll start building a structure here. Okay, and for that I have a building register, but I'm going to build a house. Okay, this house goes onto the house and manor building register. Now they're dealt with slightly differently. You'll see why that is in a minute. Now, each building has stats. You must pay a certain amount of gold to build it. When you start building on a plot, deduct the building size points from the building plot, which we will do in a minute. If you don't have enough building points, you cannot build it. You can construct multiple buildings on a plot. And we will draw a little icon in to signify the building. It brings benefits. It will increase the rank, which will up the rank on the plot. Each building, like your characters, has health points. When you start constructing a building, add it to the appropriate sheet, which we will do. Complete the structure. You must fill the number of boxes based on the maximum hit points for the building. Once built, you gain the full benefits of the structure. If a building takes more than 2 points of damage, it's non-functional and will be repaired naturally by the occupants or the workers. So other houses need workers. So we're going to build a house. Okay. So I'm going to put a house on here. Now to do that, as I say, we've got to spend some gold and have a look at the house register. As you can see, the game has a number of processes, but all these processes, as you do them more, they'll become more natural. Where did I put those? Is that all of them there? Yeah, I think so. No, that's an old copy. Right, I think they're over here. I could be more organised in my desk, but it's a very creative space. Where did I put those? Here they are. Right, so the building list. We're going to build a house first. And a house is a simple dwelling. It costs 20 gold coins. We're going to get this going. So we're going to transfer the 20 gold to the realm sheet over here. So your realm leisure, 280 gold. We're going to take off 20 and take that down to, cross that off my character sheet there as well. And then we're going to draw the structure on, but it is being built. So we've got plot tag, it's 1 SP, and the building type is a house. The size of the house is 2. Okay, so it doesn't take up much space at all. But its level is 1. It will be its rank modifier, which is 0, so it doesn't affect the tax. It delivers 2 workers, and then you allocate the workers, but we'll do that later. And then it has 6 health points. So we're going to put black out this it could be, yes, could be performing troop. You're right. That is the one. And then we're going to tick that first one there. Okay, so that when you first set it up, you get to tick one. Now you can tick one of these each round. You've got to remember to do that. Okay, so we've got a house going up in this space here. And then once that's finished, it will give us 2 workers. In fact, we're probably going to, let's build 2 houses in this particular location. So we're going to build another one. So we've got 2 houses and we'll have loads of workers kind of coming in. So we'll get to the realm ledger and we'll cross another 240 there, and we're going to build another house in here. Size 1, rank 4, taxes. Oh, wrong one. Filling out the wrong form. Okay, so the house, here it is, 1 SP, house, size 2, level 1, 0 modifier, 2 workers, and we've got level 1. Okay, so we've got 2 houses being built on this, and you can see I've just drawn in little houses like that onto the map. There we go. Fantastic. And that will mean once they're built, I missed the start by an hour. Must have read the message wrong or miscalculated. No worries. It is no worries, Jeff. Good to have you here. Yes, good to have you in, Jeff. All the work that you've done has been amazing. So we've got it's version 0.91. Refined, and we're just playing through it. Now I've given Cornelius a bit of extra gold so that we can actually do some building, and we've got 2 houses gone on to this plot here, and we'll increase them each turn. We actually came across a stone platform and some performers, and it didn't really help because we didn't have any land there at the time. Okay, so that is the end of round. That is the end of round 1. So, what we'll do then is we're going to carry on exploring while these build. I must remember to tick the building things so we know that they got. Then we'll have the 2 workers, and we'll build another structure within the kingdom. And we'll have a look at those as well when we do that. Fantastic. Right, let's explore. Hello, Alex. How are you doing? So we're going to go back here, and I'm going to explore this space here next to the homestead, and we'll see what's going on here. Okay, just get the table, the land types of land table, and we're going to roll it here. 51. An old well. Okay. So, we have an old well situated. Going to do an old well here. Finally catch a stream. How's it going, Toby? It's going well. Thank you, David. I'm pleased you're here. We're having a little playthrough, play test. I mean, I guess that's another thing to sort of that I didn't really say at the beginning. This is a test. We're still testing. Things could change still. That's actually quite a big old well, isn't it? Let's make that a bit smaller. Make it smaller. Right, let's find out about this old well. What's going on here? There's an old well. We need to find out the owner. So this, put the tag in, top right hand corner. It's the second tile and old well, which is OW. James, call the chapter of rules 26 real estate. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. It does feel that way. Right, old well. Old well is OW, yeah. No surprises there. And we need to find out whether there's any owners. Remember, it's just D6. Matthew C. Hello, how are you doing? I started the playtest a week ago. I currently don't have time. I hope I'll find more to do feedback. Well, hold it there, Alex, because we've got a new version now after a couple of weeks. So I will be sending out the new version to the playtesters tomorrow or the next day. Probably won't be tomorrow. It'll probably be on Monday next week. So we'll put it forward a bit. Monday next week, I'll send out the new version. I know some people want to get their hands on it earlier, but it means because I've got the UK GAMES EXPO this whole week, and I'm just thinking, do I want to try and lay it out? No, I think I might be able to send it out tomorrow. Well, I'll have a look. It will be with you soon. So let's establish whether this is anybody owns this. 6. So what was the here we go. So I rolled a 6. 3 to 6, there's no other claimant on the land. If you roll 1 or 2, it's already owned. Right, so we can claim this land. I'm going to claim this land. So this is mine. If you don't claim it, you put a cross by the tag, by the way. So we've got 2 bits of land here. And I'm going to explore the land first. Let's write it on here actually. So we've got 2 old well, and we'll find out a bit more here. Okay, so what is at this old well? Let's have a look. Let's find the table. Here we go. Old well. Five. Okay. Right. You push on through some bushes and past a thicket in an opening. The area is dry and the grass yellow. There is an old well here and a wooden shack to one side that is empty. You look down into the well and see it has collapsed, and in it is collapsed in and is no longer functional. It looks as if somebody has been trying to dig a new well beyond, but failed and left a ditch. You can explore the ditch if you wish. Roll on that table, -1 to do so. The well can be reinstated for 4 gold coins. Okay, so someone's tried to dig the well, but when doing so, they've dug out a ditch instead, and it really is quite deep, and it's almost like the well has kind of collapsed, and the ditch has been formed where the well is. So it's kind of like a ruin, if you like. So I'm going to add in here a little bit of detail to this picture. So there's kind of like stones have tumbled down, and there's like a ditch where the well's kind of collapsed in. Okay. Right. So kind of like that. It remains an oh well. Now the plot becomes shrubland. So although it was an oh well, it now is shrubland, which shrubland has a base of, let me just double check this, shrubland, yeah, base of 100. So it's kind of, it's a bit of a state really. It's one of the big dice for 2d6 realm for the months or the rounds, for example. Not the moment, Alex, no. So the dice that came with the thing were the 2d6 dungeon dice. That was with the campaign, and that was basically because 2d6 realm is expansion of 2d6 dungeon. So the dice you use with 2d6 realm are the 2d6 dungeon dice, in a sense, if you get my meaning. Okay, so it's shrubby. So we're going to add some shrubs in. And let's just call this, even though, right, it's not an old well anymore, it still retains its plot tag of OW. Okay, so 2OW. We're just going to call it shrub. The size is 1. This is the number of tiles. And, incidentally, we didn't change. No, the houses don't affect the rank for the other one. And the rank for shrubland is, just looking up here, shrubland is 2. So it doesn't cost as much. The taxes are going to be 2 on that. And we have a ditch. That was a well. Okay, and the total building points are 100. While playing, I have been using a d6 to track rounds in a turn and a d12 to track turns. Yes, I don't think I showed you this before, did I? I didn't include this. This is the tracker. So you got your round 2. We're on the month tracker there. I'll include that with the next file updates. So there is that there, Jeff. Okay, so we can explore the ditch. So this is good. These are two plots that I'm able to build on and explore attached to my realm. Okay, so we'll explore the ditch. I just want to check the icons for the shrublands and see how I did those before, just so I don't get them mixed up. So shrublands are just basically, we had some of these little kind of bushes. Put a few of those in. See that there. It's going to be a mix of 3D and 2D here. Okay. And it's just one square. And So we're going to explore the ditch. So the adventurer's going to explore the ditch there. And that is at the back here. Let's just get this out. Ditch. Deep ditch table. Here we are. What could be down here? I'm going to explore it and see what the hell's going on. Oh, let's do that again. $10. Okay. All right. There is a hollow in the ditch that has served as a campsite for someone in the past, but is long abandoned. You can examine the campsite by rolling on case T1. Campsite table 1. There is nothing else here. So the story continues. Right, we have, as it turns out, there's a camp. So the ditch is it's curved down the bank from the well where it's kind of crumbled and the land has collapsed. And there's a tent. There's a camp, an old camp there. So we're going to have a look and see what the situation is here on this campsite. So there's a little tent drawn into that site here. And in fact, I might just make a little note. Remember, it's 2OW campsite. Put that on there. Oh, pressing too hard on my pencil. Okay. Oh yeah, and this was rocky, by the way, this other land. So I'm going to put a few rocks in here, just to sort of give it a bit of a visual register. A few rocks in amongst there. There we go. On the other land, they can kind of seep into the next one a little bit, give it a bit of continuity. Right. So the campsite. So I've gone into the ditch, and it's led me to a campsite, which is CAS. The campsite. Here we go. Camp search. All right. Eight. Behind a stack of mouldy logs is a pile of planks and 2 boxes of nails. They are in good repair and can be reused or sold. Fantastic. So, the realm, we're going to put that on our lockup, which is on my sheet here. I'm going to put this down here. The lockup is now at your house, so in your homestead. So you've got like a special storage area where you can put stuff. And within your realm, you're going to need to have raw resources. And this is part of what it's about. You'll find missions where stuff like this is needed, and you keep a store of it. So we're going to write in here, where was it? It was 10, wasn't it? So you get some long abandoned campsite. So it says here, oh no, I've turned over the page. It's on the same page. No, it wasn't 10, was it? Was it 8? Yes. Yes. Pile of planks. So maybe let's say pile of planks. Writing this on 2 boxes of nails. And they're in good condition. So that's fantastic. So that might be used later. So we had a quite an unusual situation. So I suspect this campsite where we've turned up here. So we come into this space. There's an old well. Someone had kind of attempted to repair it maybe, but the land collapsed and the ditch formed. And out of the kind of the weather, maybe more shelter. They built a camp in there, which was a while ago while they were working, and they had some planks. Maybe they were going to build like a surround or some kind of thing above the well, and it didn't work out, and we've kind of recovered that, and now we have some resources for the land. Now we can, if we want to, as these things develop, we can use inventive usage and create things for the people that could, in a sense, improve wellness. And you can create decor and get a +1 to your wellness by using items. I'm going to keep hold of those for the moment, and we're just going to see whether they come in handy at any point. So that is the end of round 2, and I'm going to, as I said I would try and remember to do, I'm going to tick another box on the houses here. Oh, and Jeff, by the way, I've reduced the shade of grey and increased the, oh, I may not have done it on these ones. I've done it on these ones for sure. So they're less laboursome for the printer. And I've increased the width. You'll see there's a number of improvements and changes I've made. Okay, so those houses are being built within your realm, within my realm. When do you pay taxes? Good question, Bill. At the end of the round. So when you after turn 6, there's a number of things to do, which we will go over when we get to that stage and figure out. And yes, indeed, Jeff. All right, good. So we've got these aspects here. We've got the shrubs. This is probably not a bad place to build on. Let me just check if we can build on shrubland. May not be that we could build on shrubland. Let me just double check. Yeah, you can build on shrubland. I added that in there. That may not have been there before, but it is now. So we've got these little bushes here, adding some details. They can kind of spill a bit into my realm. I've got some rocks and stuff like this that kind of lap over a little bit, and the map is continuous, and you can sort of do all sorts of work on it. So interesting. We've got the platform and the well there. We're going to go and explore this piece of land up here to the north on the 3rd turn. I'm just turning onto number 3 there. Okay. All right. So what have we got? 24. A deep hole. Another unique one. Fantastic. Okay, so up here, I'm going to put in the tag. Oh, Jeff, I increased the size of the map as well, by the way, just so you know. Deep hole is DH. Okay, it's going to be something like this, maybe. It's unique, so it's going to have another base land around it. Right. Let's see whether anybody owns this land. 5. No one owns it. Remember, 1 or 2, someone owns it. So I can claim this land as well, which I am going to do. I'm going to put it onto my land log. Did we finish the other land log? Here, where is it? Here we go. So, 3, deep hole. And then we're going to find out a bit more about this one. Let's have a little explore. David A. Let's just see. We are always paying taxes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no doubt. James Dunn. Will you re-roll if you are getting duplicate land types? If so, cards for each kind would work good. Yeah. I tend to rely on tables for stuff like that, David, for James. I tend to just kind of flipping through lots of cards is okay, but for this particular thing, I think it's okay for the table. So I take your point. Definitely something to think about. I do think about these things. Okay. David has said here, I do have a non-round question. I could skip ahead and check, but I don't want to spoil any creature surprises. Does the card deck just cover the base game, or does it cover the expansion creatures? If not, would there be a possibility of getting a print of the lair? The cards include the lair creatures. So all the creatures up to date are going to be included in the cards, so it's no problem. I think land types will even itself out over the course of a big map. It will. But if it was, Bill says, but if it was unique, would there only be one of that? That is a good question. No, it is just a kind of unique and unusual. Maybe a better word might have been unusual land, but I've gone with unique. So you can have lots of different holes all over the map, but there is a restriction. You can't have two together or two unique. You can't have three unique plots together. If you happen to roll another unique, then you have to roll a base land, which we will cover. And you can't have more than two. Oh, yes. There you go. David, brilliant. Yes, as with unique, the restriction is only one per level. Yeah, I know. That is a point. That is a good point. I hadn't really thought about that, to be honest. That could be misleading. Good observation. Yeah. I'll have a think about it, but I think it's unique. There's a description of what unique is in the rules here, so hopefully that covers it. Right. So we have got a deep hole. Let's have a look here. Deep hole. Rank 5. Size 1. Taxes 5. Okay. Not the same kind of unique, yeah. How have you been dealing with two similar land types like forests next to each other? Do you add a boundary between the plot groups? No. At the moment, no, Nick. It just becomes one large forest but with two tags. And you just kind of have to make a judgment call as to where the buildings go. Basically. Alright, here we go. 2d6, 7. What do we got on 7? Aha. Mine shaft. Let's try that again. We haven't got any mine shafts. 10. This is just a playtest. There's a rope that's been attached to a boulder and hangs down the hole. Someone has been here before, but has not taken their rope. When you look over the edge and throw a torch down, you see a body lying at the bottom. You carefully clamber down and find the person died from the fall. You search them. Roll on BST1 TCX. I draw trees and such in between squares for one particular area. To show they belong together. Exactly. That's actually a really good point. That is a really good point. We need to put that in on the notes. Maybe calling it a special feature rather than unique, just to avoid confusion. Paul, that's another good point as well. Let me just special rather than unique. Just writing that down. And icons on boundaries to signify connection. That's fantastic. Great minds think alike. As someone very clever said once upon a time. But the full quote is, great minds think alike, but fools seldom differ. I think it's Shakespeare, isn't it? It's Shakespeare, probably. So we've got a body search. So we've got a guy who's fallen down the table. There's a boulder down the hole. There's a boulder here. Put a boulder in and a rope that goes down. And we climb to the bottom. And incidentally, this is it's a size of 70. The base land is shrubland. Okay, so shrub. We've got a body. Bodies. God, at the bottom of the hole. Size is 70. Okay. Oh, and we did build on this one up here. It's down to 26. Okay. So we're going to search the tape. We're going to put some more kind of shrubs around here as well. Kind of indicate a shrubby area. Now I'm going to take the rope as well, incidentally. I'm going to put that in my large items. Rope. Detach the rope. When I climb back up, detach the rope. Put that in there. No problem. Alright. Let's search the body. Now this is, did you notice that there was a TCX? So one of the things about this game is it refers back to the actual original dungeon, because it's an expansion of 2.6 dungeon. It does use the original tables as well in some situations, especially like loot. So we've got the body search table 1. Here we go. Let's do this. 8. Strapped to the creature's back is a throwing axe plus 3. Fantastic. That's throwing axe plus 3. We'll put that in. Throwing axes are large items, so let's put it in there. Right, we can use that before a combat. That's a really handy thing to have as well. Very cool. Obviously, the person strapped it to their back as they were climbing down, because you wouldn't want to hold onto it, would you? So that makes perfect sense. Fantastic. So we've got the hole here. Now, I suspect this guy, maybe he's quite an old body. It may have been the guy that set up the camp next to the well, and he went over to the hole and then fell down the hole when he was trying to maybe salvage something from the bottom of the hole, as you would do. Okay. Good stuff. Right, so that's the end of turn 3. Let's tick the boxes here a little bit more. So we've got 3. The houses are being constructed. Over in there, there's going to give us 4 workers. And then we're going to build something else. You wait. Okay. Let's explore this area over here. Okay. This particular spot next to the homestead here. Let's have a roll. Jeff, did we decide diagonals counted in the end? I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember whether we... I'll double check it. If not, we'll look over that last one. Let me have a little check in here. Begin constructing. Tanis, have you tested with hexagons rather than squares would get over the diagonal issue? Oh, I don't think the diagonal is an issue. I personally don't like hexes so much. There's a number of reasons why we chose squares. If you look at a map, if you look at a modern map, it's done in squares, isn't it? It feels more plot-like, more... It ties back to how plots of land were kind of split up, and that's been the inspiration. So we've very much kind of gone with that approach to it, and then it's kind of... I wanted something different as well, you know. Yeah, and the squares, the tiles, as Nick says, there's a whole bunch of connections. Lots of reasons. So, right, let me just... I'm checking that. I thought exploring, searching, explored the buildings with different actions, in which case it's now turn 6 and if you encounter... That's a good question. That's a good question. You can explore when you first go into a square. You can explore that without accruing any extra turns. If you have to do something extra, like come back to it, or the actual event, it means that something happens which makes it longer, then it will say in the descriptive text. So when you this role, when you explore, is that turn, Brian. But things can happen which mean that something else goes on. That exploration is your base. But when you explore a dwelling or something like that, that is an extra turn to do that, or some things can happen which make the turns go on, if you like. I hope that makes sense. All right. So what we were looking at diagonals. Okay. Yeah. Hope that. Thank you, Brian. Right. So we've got unique here. Only two unique plots can be found next to each other. If you should run a unique plot as already connected unique plots, ignore it instead to roll the base land. Okay, so it hasn't said it there. Diagonals are fine. Diagonals are fine. Don, I caught you too. Welcome. We'll just go with it like that for the moment. If I need to refresh that, I will. Okay, so we've got this hole here, and we've got shrubland around this big old hole where someone's fallen down and died, and they had a nice throwing axe strapped to their back, which we took. Fantastic. Okay, so we're going to explore this one here, and let's roll again. Jeff, have you been playing diagonals on the unique? There you go. 32 grassland. Okay, so we have a grassland. Now this is an area. So unique's a single, but grassland is an area, plot area it's called. Now, areas, the plot area is larger than the initial single generated square and is a type of base land. The first square is drawn as the land type, for example, fields or grassland. Then roll a d6. This is a number of additional squares of this land type that are added to the initial square. Here we go. So, for example, right, yes, this is one plot area made of 6 plots. Place as many of them touching the original square as possible, and then the rest as you like. If you cannot fit them all in, so they're connecting, then fit as many as you can. Do not draw in plots which are not attached to the main plot area. You only need to tag the top right corner of the first square you encounter of the area, helping reduce excessive tagging of the plot area. Okay, here we go. This is how big it is. So it's only 3 areas big. That means we don't have to roll on an extra table for the encounter. Right, so we're going to make it 3 areas big. It's going to be, this is the original plot here. So it's going to be number 4. Just double check the tag for grassland. And this will also have an encounter. So GR. If there are diagonal, I was counting them as connected. Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. I'll need to make a note in the rules for that one. Put that on my sheet. I might have it down there. Diagonals connected. All right. No problem. I think we'll do it like that then. Ignore that first one. So, grassland. Here we have grassland, little tufts. We'll do little tufts, I think, which makes perfect sense. So we can put a few tufts here. Just kind of, and it's kind of 1, 2, 3 squares. Nick's good point about, Jeff's point about putting the icons on the divide, the line between, so you get like a sense. All right. Okay, so we've got 3 grassland areas plots there, and so we will need to establish whether ownership. 5, no one owns it. Fantastic. So what we'll do is we'll write this down on our, we're on to turn 4. Write this down on our land log. Let's get that out. Got no unclaimed land so far. There we are. So 4 GR Grassland, size 4. So the rank is for grassland is is 2. Okay, so is 2. So that's going to be 4 times 2, 8 silver coins for that, and we're going to need to roll for the encounter. Now it's 4. It's 3. What am I doing? Did I roll? I rolled. Yeah, I did roll 2, didn't I? Yeah. 3. So that's 6 silver. I've got to go, but it's good catching up with the stream. Everything is looking great, Toby. Thank you, Cody. That's much appreciated, my friend. So the grassland is 100, so we're going to do 3 here. Grassland. Now, with this original building, I may have missed some additional expense for building, because it is additional expenditure for building a rocky land I'd forgotten. So if you've seen that, I forgot to add, but we won't go back over that now. Right. No one owns it. I'm going to add it to my thing. And at the end of the turn, I'm going to look at my realm ledger and make a few notes on there, because I can write down there the size of my claim as well. And because depending on how much land you own that's connected to your homestead, it will depend on your claim, and you can work towards gaining another title, and we'll talk more about that in a minute, and make more sense of that in a minute. Okay, right, grassland, where are you? Here we go. Okay. Grasslands are good for building on. They are generally flat and the soil is good quality. Buildings cost 10% less to build on grasslands. They also start with +1 HP, which is just one of those tips. 8. Okay. So, grassland, 8. Higher the number, usually the better the result. The area makes up a large grassy plain that undulates in waves of swaying grass. You roam on through. It's largely unremarkable. There was at one point a barn here. It's old and pretty much a ruin. You can explore the barn if you wish. Roll on ABBAT1 or leave it and move on. We are going to explore the barn. Okay, so we've got a barn here on that plot here. So let's put it up in this. Let's put it in this section here. I'm going to draw a barn on. Might put a barn on here. Okay, it's not to scale, but you know, put a big old barn on there like that. Just kind of improvising with that there, and around the grass. So maybe they had some fields or were cultivating the area. And we have a barn which we're going to explore. All right. So, right. Barn. Now, this was a table that I'd missed out before, so you guys won't have this table yet. But I've written it, abandoned barn. And it might affect the space. We'll see. There's the clock. 7. Okay, we're getting some very average rolls here. 7. You pull back a hemp cloth and push aside a large stone to find... Oh no, that's abandoned items. barn. Here it is. Here it is. Count Downs gives at the most 2 uniques in a block of 9 squares, rather than 5 possible if you don't count diagonals as adjacents. That's interesting. Let's roll that again. Let's roll this again. 6. All right, 6. There are tools and bales of straw stored in the barn. Cobwebs cover everything. You can gather the materials together and sell them in town for 5 gold coins. Okay, so we've got tools. Yeah, let's just put tools worth 5 gold. We'll make the, so logically, that for me says large. Tools worth 5 gold coins there. We'll just put that on heavy items. Unfortunately, no encounter. We've had no creatures to fight so far. Just the way the exploration goes, isn't it? All right, so there we go. We've got all these. Let me just check the claim. We've got that on there. Good. So this is all my land so far. That's very cool. Let's tick it over to round 5. There we are. And I'm going to go and explore this one here. So it can't be a unique, this one, because it's connected to those 2. So it's going to be some sort of base land. And it kind of signifies that it's not, it isn't completely occupied. It's quite wilderness-like. All right, so having this rule, so not having more than 2 uniques. All quiet near the homestead is good. I've been getting a lot of average rolls lately. Yeah. So what we got? We got 63. This is for this piece of land here. Let's have a look what that is. What is 63? 63 is stone platform, so that is unique. We can't have that there. So what happens is you roll on the base land table here at the bottom. It's a 2d6. 6. Grassland. More grassland. Roll to see how many additional squares. So there's 7 grassland here. Okay. So we're going to put that's as big as it gets. So we've got this big swathe of grassland here. This is the first tile here. 5 GR. Sorry, I'm writing slightly at an angle here. 5 GR grassland. Size is 7. Rank is 2. 14 taxes. Okay, so that gives a total area. Although, hang on a minute, I'm writing it on the land lot. Oh yeah. I haven't figured out whether anybody owns it yet. Here we go. Oh, sod's law. So someone else owns it. Let's take it off my one. Let's find out who owns this, right? We'll look at the process of this, how this works. So it's 7 squares. Let's just kind of plot this out here. So we're going to have it going all the way. So it's going to be this 6 here. And this one next to this area here. So I'm going to just draw some of this in. Kind of give a sense. Obviously, if you just roll a 7, it's going to take a bit longer. So that is... Okay, so we've got that area there. I thought it would only be one base land square. Oh my god. You're right. You're right, Jeff. So, the rule. Oh my god. You are so right, my friend. So the rule is, if you roll a unique, and if you roll a unique, it's just one square. And then when you roll a base land to replace it, it is just also one square. Okay, so that is my error there. See, easy to make errors even when you've blooming invented it. Okay, so someone else owns this plot of land. We've got to figure out who it is. Thank you, Jeff. Lol, I thought that too. Couldn't find it quickly enough in my book. Yeah. No, that is. You are absolutely right. Thank you, guys. So here we go. So if to establish who the owner is, roll on a landowner identity table, which can be found. Yes. This needs to be taken out here. If the land rank is 5 or higher at a 2, roll on add 2 to the roll. There's a few little corrections there, annoyingly. That's because I've just changed that. To roll because the higher quality of the land has already been claimed. When you discover who owns the land, there might be immediate options as to acquiring the land, in which case resolve these. If you still don't own the land, record it in the unclaimed log. Tag this land that you do not own in the top right hand corner of the most northerly square with a cross. Once a plot is claimed, then it becomes part of your realm. Right, let's have a look at who owns this land. We'll get the table here. Land owner identity table here. Okay. Ebbit! Hey, you're still going. I was doing some yard work and thought for sure you'd be done by now. Nope. Still going. Very interesting. Careful reading of the rules for unique call. Yes. So, here we go. I'm going to roll on this one. 8. And it's grass, so the rank isn't too high, so you don't get any pluses to it. So, dignitary Malak Dingledon, okay, owns the land and is willing to sell it at its full value. A condition is attached. If it is a unique plot, he insists it is demolished. Roll on the base land table to establish what is left. Okay. So, he's actually willing to sell it to me. And I'm kind of inclined to buy it off him. Alright, so I am going to buy this land off him. Now, the value of a land is its rank in gold coins. And this particular area is just one grassland. So I'm going to buy it off him and take that off the realm ledger here. So that's going to leave me with 238 gold coins. So the word gets around. Remember, these turns are days, so you can kind of spread the word, and lo and behold, we are going to claim this land. So 5GR grassland, as I previously wrote, it's 1 rank 2 silver, once owned by Malak Dingledden. There you go. And that is one plot, so it's 100. Okay, so I don't have to cross that out. We get to keep that particular plot there. Awesome. Right. Well, let's have a look up here. So that was turn 5. Let's just tick another couple of boxes on the houses here. Oh, it looks like I missed one. And if you miss them, you can't go back. Got caught up. And is willing to sell it at full value. So we're good. He does want to sell it. Okay. Good. Put that there like that. So, and then it kind of makes sense. We could explore this one up here. It's obviously not going to be you. You checked the wrong box. Oh, you're wrong. You're right. Thank you, Nick. There we go. Fantastic. Good. Okay, so what we'll do is roll for the space. There we go. It is a base land square due to having too many unique squares. Do you still explore the grassland like you would? That is a good question. Yes, you do. Let's explore the grassland. Good call. I forgot about that. I've got to be carried away with the identity. Let's explore it now. Of course we explore it. 9. Grassland. 9. Ah. Oh, it's the same one we had before. The barn. Let's roll for something different. Just because we're... Although, no, let's do the barn because it makes sense. We've got another barn, which we'll explore. I'll put the barn in here. It's an area that once these people, they were building barns, you see. Let's put another barn in. Same style barn as the other one. And we'll roll on the barn table. So that is, you see an old barn. It's in a bit of a ruin. Let's roll on the barn table. Let's not have a Barney about this. Alright, here we go. Additional barn table. 11. Woo! Let's have a look. What have we got? The barn is built on ancient foundations. It has been used to store building materials. Much of it is unusual. Usual or ruined, but stashed in a nook are some old tiles. Just going to take that out. You look at them carefully. The tiles showing a scene of what appears to be a mass exodus of people. Right? Unusual tile. In the shameful secret section of the realm ledger, you also find some good leather worth 10 gold coins. All right. So we've got some good leather. I'm going to put that in the large items because that sounds like quite a bit. 10 gold coins written in my large items. Now, also interestingly, so within the game, there are things you can discover about the land. All right. Now we have here. This is we've discovered an ancient tile, and on it is an image, and you don't quite know what it is, but it looks like an exodus of people. So we are going to write unusual tile in the shameful secret section on the realm ledger. Okay. Right. Now, for each secret, once you've found the 4 parts, take the first letters and list them alphabetically. This is the table to roll on, and it will reveal more about this secret. Okay, so that's something within the thing. 10 gold crowns in net. Yes. How much was the property again? Epic, were you doing like a list of values for me? Thank you, Paul. Unusual task. So it's, you will take the first letters and then you'll find a table and it's like a secret within the game, which we won't reveal online, obviously. Spoilers. I was, but you said enough people had gone through the text. Oh, yeah, for corrections, not for values, Ebbit. If you do get. You know, I don't know, it was probably the way I phrased the email, or how, I don't know. But yeah, if you could actually hold that. Property cost 2, yes. Ebbit, hold that thought, because the thing's changed. I'm going to email out the updated file tomorrow. Okay, I've decided I'm going to try and do it tomorrow, okay? To all the testers. This is now updated. It's not in a layout format yet, but I'm going to send it out tomorrow, and you can work from that one. So don't do the one you've got, because it's old now. And I'm going to update the files, and I'm going to put all the sheets in one spot. And I'll probably forget to send something. I did send you some notes about property values. You might not have gotten to them yet. I was looking for your property ones, Jeff, but I couldn't find them. I thought I pointed them out. I can't remember how much these base lands cost. Did you say it's the cost of the rent? Oh, don't worry about the cost of the lands. If you could just go through it and try and find all items, not the value of the land, but all the items, so like the leather, the stone, all the objects, rather than any land. So, and put a list together so I can have a look at the values of these things and see whether I've kind of, even if stuff is expensive, it might just reflect its quality. So we'll just have to see. But that would be very handy. Yeah, oh, fantastic. Brilliant. Leave you to it. Okay, so we've got another barn, yes, and we found a secret, which is part of your realm ledger. There's also things about the legends as well, Blood of Seers, Mordecus, and then there's the landowners. You can get gifts and treats from the landowners. Treats? No, threats. So yeah. Anyway, thank you to all the testers. Really hard work and not always that much fun. Don, you're not kidding. I second that. Especially a game that's complex like this. All right. Hopefully. You don't need to know everything to play the game. You can just kind of, there's some base stuff you need, and you can look stuff up, thankfully. Definitely very important. All right. Okay. So, yeah, we found that barn. So there's definitely a barn thing going on in the area from the past. Maybe some previous landowners had barns. Thanks, Nick. Thanks for being here, my friend. Appreciate that. You take care. Chat soon. Haven't been able to dive in like I had hoped. Just a crazy time for me, but that is getting a lot better. Fantastic. Thank you, Abbott. Especially a game as complex as this. I struggle with closed timing board games. Boggles my mind to think of testing something as open-ended as RPG. Yeah. I mean, there are... It's turn-based, so there's kind of like a sequence of stuff It's on the face of it, it seems a bit. It is crunchy, but it is actually not. It's not difficult to understand. Put it that way, as you read through it. That's the way I kind of like to think about it. I think the very nature of creating an Overland game like this results in lots of processes, because it's kind of so random and you don't know what quite you're going to get. Exploring an open space is a lot more random than exploring a closed space like a dungeon. Right. Okay. So we're going to explore this space here and go on to round 6, which is the last round in the term, indicating the end of the month. Right. Here we go. Hopefully I haven't forgotten anything there. Let's get this. All right. Okay. '61. Shrubland, an area. Right. So let's find out how big the shrubland is. Five. So it's 6 squares big. So we do have the big shrubland that we had talked about previously. I'm going to expand it out. I'm going to put this in here. Let's see if anybody owns it. The shrub is SH. Okay. So that makes sense, doesn't it? If you think about it. We got... Oh, did I make a note of the land log before? I did, yeah. Okay. So these two here have got a base land of shrubland. So we can kind of expand this into here. So it's going to be, I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 and bring it round to here. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I will, this might just take a minute. It's going to sort of loop around. It's one of those things I could kind of like click a button and it's done. Like 2 minutes later, 5 minutes later, it clicks and it's done. That'd be handy. And so it kind of comes in. We've got that goes all the way around here. I was thinking of trying to make some stamps for the base land types. Wow. That... Why not? I mean, to be honest, the it would be very handy. I mean, you may not better rub them out, which is part of the appeal of using the pencil, because things do change within some plots, especially if you get a string, which we haven't had in this first grouping. But yeah, I mean, wow. David, interesting looking system. Toby, got to be off now, night all. Thank you, David. Thank you. You take care. So this whole zone here. Clive, how are you doing? Yeah, I was just thinking my 2d6 dungeon parchment marker Finelander habits will have to change when I start playing Realms. I'm afraid so. I know. I couldn't really think of any other way around it. There's an organic sort of explorational element to it, which means that you're going to be facing new things, unexpected things within the land, and it could change the situation that you're facing. So, yeah. I mean, some people tell me that they've got those pens that you can rub out, so you can find those, I guess, if you prefer to work in pen. I mean, I quite like to work in pen. All right, so we've got this shrubland area kind of here, kind of a bit kind of grassy, like that. I had a big deep canyon that that ran through some grassland. I had drawn nice, which is funny because I was like, how did I miss the big arse hole? Well, you got to imagine that you might just come up against a hole. You don't see a hole in the landscape, do you? It's kind of flat. You know, you fall into the hole. Two, when a string runs through, it makes an interesting... It does, yes. Yeah, we haven't had one so far today, have we? But, yeah, it can change things up quite dramatically. Yeah. Right, so, did we see whether this was claimed? Did we roll for claim on this, people? I can't remember now. To see whether there's another landowner, whether we can claim it. There you go. Got some nice details going here. You can, I mean, once certain areas are done, Clive, you can always go over and pen it in if you like. Although monthly and yearly events may change things, so no. Joe? No. Okay. Let's see. 6. Nobody has claimed. So I can claim this land, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to claim this land. 6. SH. Shrubland. Although I just written shrub up there. Rank is 2. Why have we got 5 there? Shrub. Oh, because it was the hole, yeah. Shrubland. Size is 6. The rank is 2. It's 12. Silver taxes. And we haven't encountered it yet. So let me just check. Let's see. Once we encounter it, we'll know whether there's anything going on here. Right. Here we go. 3. Ooh, first low number. As you enter the area, you notice that there are many loose sticks and bracken scattered across the dry soil. Further in, you spot mounds that have been formed into low rings. Closer still, and you see they are in fact robust nests. 2 level appropriate crowned gorlatus first burst out of the nest and attack. If you survive, you find something in one of the nests. Okay. So we've got a fight on our hands. Let me just get this out here. Right, bear with me a sec. Hopefully I've got these ones printed. Uh-huh. 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 Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, bear with me a sec. surprised I haven't got these ones. Okay, crowned. There we go. Oh dear. Just going to print it out. It's probably going to be a bit big. Let me try this here. I'm still here, just bear with me. I thought I had that one printed, but it doesn't look like it's there. Yeah, the nearest one to your level, basically, is what it is. And I will show you what these are. Whoa, that is big. Okay. I haven't got the right format in there at the moment, but this is the crowned Brawler 2. Just cutting it out. And then we're going to fight 2 of these. We may have to retreat and then get a trophy atrophy on the land. So we've got 2 of these, and afterwards see these big old beasties. There's a type of bird, but kind of like a reptile bird, almost like a, there it is. They're pretty strong, right? And I'm going to before the combat starts, let's get my character sheet out here. Where is it? Here. Okay. Go up a little bit. All right. There's actually a way you can actually the way that I've written it is, if you do die, you can actually generate another character and carry on the same realm, like maybe a cousin or a son or a daughter or that sort of thing. So you can keep the realm, but you can retreat from combat if you lose. But as it happens, I do have a potion of healing and a potion of finesse plus 2 shift for 1 combat, and I've got a mental whip and a fireball. This I'm determined not to die. Okay. All right. So there are 2 of them. So that is really tough. So I'm gonna have to use some magic to try and deal with these buggers, and take it from there. So let's try and fit this in as best as possible. Okay. Right. Let's put round 1. Nothing on the fatigue die as yet. So in the first round, I am going to cast mental whip before. See if I can cast it, alright? Okay, use discipline, +2, either way, and he doubles, okay? Oh, look at that. So, unfortunately, I can't get a double out of that. I can only take that up to 4. So, the spell does not cast, and we have to go to fail to cast table. Now, where is that? Just looking up here. Failed to cast correctly table is page 7. Here we go. So page 7, failed to cast correctly. There it is. Now if I roll a high number, it actually is in my favour. 10. Warmth washes from the scroll, filling your body with energy. Gain 10 health, plus 5 XP per level. Right. So I gain 15 XP, which takes me up to 552. And I gain 10 health. So when you gain, it goes above your baseline, 40. So rather than cast a spell, it has this other effect on me. The magic in the scroll. That worked out well. Minor hiccup. Use your throwing axe. Oh my god. I forgot. I used my action. Darn. Alright, so I was casting the scroll. I was like expecting to use a mental whip, but it kind of crumbles but becomes warm and floods me with health. 40 points. Fantastic. Okay. Right, round 1. In round 1, I'm going to quaff the potion of finesse, which gives me +2 shift. It means I miss a go because I'm drinking the potion, and then they get to hit. It does mean that I'm going to put a +2 in brackets there, a +4 shift. Ooh, right, let's put on. I'm going to make got a little notepad here. We can keep a track of their damage. Crowned, Gawler 2, and we're going to have 14. Alright, so we've got a little track there I can use. They get to hit, so they need a 2, 6 or 6, 4. It's break, a beak jab or talon slash. Now I have a jerkin 4 primary and a bishop's mantle 5 primary and a 4 secondary. Now the 4 secondary blocks the talon slash, so I can get -1 damage off that. The beak jab I cannot block, so that's the situation here. So the first one rolls 4-3, sorry, which they cannot shift to. And the second one rolls 5-3. Now they have 1 shift. Okay, they cannot shift. They're very close to being able to get the 6-4, but they can do a 5-4. It doesn't quite reach. So I'm lucky. That first attack misses. Now, second round, I've got +2 shift, which makes me quite adept. So I've got 4. So, oh my word, here we go. Okay, I can do hack. I can change this to do 2 on there. It wasn't a very good roll, and then a 2 down to there. So that's 4 shift I had to use to get that, which is D6 damage. Now, he has got head swish on primary 2s and 4s, -2 damage. So thankfully that does not affect my hack. Oh, it doesn't matter too much, Jeff, on that one, but you're probably right. 5. So that's 5 damage to Gawler 2 number 1. So we'll take that down to 9. Take that down to 9. I can't remember whether that was what we decided on with the scrolls. We'll have to double check that. Let me have a quick look here for future reference. Casting scrolls. Let's have a look here. Just looking up the rules in the other book here. Using Using 29. Because the way you scrolls can be cast at the very start of combat or outside of combat, but never during. The way you encounter rooms means you always initiative in combat to act first and cast a spell with a scroll, but doing so means that the creature attacks first, whereas if you do not cast a spell from a scroll, you attack first. You are right. You are wise, Jeff. You are very wise. So they should have attacked first. Let me just get this right. So then I missed a go. Then they should have had 2 attacks basically, and I missed that first. And then they attacked again on the second round. So they attack first. We'll put it in order. So that would work. So we'll do it. So they attack first but missed. I then quaffed the potion. Oh, but then I sod it. We'll just carry on like this. I'm trying to forget that little rule. Okay. So it is their attack. We'll just carry on like that. So first one, 3, 2. Nope, they can't shift to that one. Okay. 5, 1. No, they can't shift to that either. So my turn. It's turn 3. They'll start getting shift bonuses soon. So I've got to do some damage here. Oh. 6, 4. Now, that, as it happens, is an exact strike. This is... No, it's okay, Jeff. It's fine. It's fine. You didn't derail it, my friend. Okay. So, exact strike. So, that means that I do the damage plus the shift. Okay, so that is 4. That's plus 4. So that's plus 7 d6. D6 plus 7. They do block -2 damage. So it's d6 plus 5. 6 damage to that first one. Darn. Did I do the numbers wrong? Oh well. I sometimes do that. Not on purpose. Is that a force? Was it? Oh, God. Oh dear. I get caught up in the moment. Okay. We're going with it. If it wasn't done purposely. Right, their attack. 2, 5. Yeah, it is. I tend to... There's lots of things I'm trying to think about. So, sorry about that, guys. 2, 5. So we have... they can shift to their beak jab here. So this first one... So they can shift it to 2-6. It's D6 minus 1. I don't do any blocking on this one, so this is the damage here. 4 minus 1 is 3 damage. 37. Alright, the second Gawler 2. James, I like that. Second one. 4-4. They've got a 6-4. They can't shift to that yet. Okay. So, my go. Turn 4. And we get our first point here. First adjustment. So, +1. So, I've got +3 shift now. Yeah. No, that's fine, Paul. Don't worry. Honestly. And the thing is, right, when you play a game like this, live, but also I'm in the process of all the other rules, are kind of like, oh, it's a bit, it can be quite overwhelming. I remember the first stream I watched and he got rolled by an apothecary, something like the third, yes. That I did a bit, absolutely. As a demonstration, a little bit of plot armor is required. As a demonstration, Nathan, how you doing? A little bit of plot armor is required. Oh, okay. All right. So we have what have we got? What's it doing? Second one. Oh, is this me? No, it's me now, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. What have we got? 3, 4. So I can shift that to the incisive heft, which is still better than the hack, which we will do. It's +1 damage. Come on. Oh, yes. So that takes down the first Gawler 2. So there's now 1. 1 left. 1 left. That gives me 50 XP, which I shall add instantly. It takes me up to 602. All right. So the one Gawler 2 is left full health. It rolls a 2-1, which is, even with this +2 shift, they cannot reach. Which takes it to round 5. And we have 6-4. No, 4-6. 4-6. That was hilarious. I spotted it that time. Okay, 4-6. I can shift to the incisive heft. I can do 2 on that one, and then 6 on that one, which gives me the incisive heft because I have got that +4 shift. Right, so and the damage, because it can sort of duck out of the way, is -2, so it's D6 +1. 2 points of damage. Damn it. So it takes it down to 12. And then we're on to round, no, same round. He swings. 2-4. And they can shift it up to the beak jab. Look at that. There you go. They can test it up to 6. And it's D6 -1. 2 damage onto my character here. 35. And then we're on to round 6 with a 3 adjustment. And we've got 4-4. And I can shift up to incisive heft. And that's a +1. 6 damage. Nice. Down to 6. And nearly took the shift dice there. And then their turn. 6, 5. They got a 6-4. They can shift to their talon slash. That's D3 +1. and I can minus 1 damage from that. So it's D3, 3 points of damage. Takes me to 32. Nice swing. 5, 6 to incite. I can do incisive heft, and it's just 2 points of damage. He's down to 4, and then 2, 6, 2, 6. Beak jab. D6 minus 1. 0 damage. Bad luck, Mr. Gawler 2. And then my turn. 1, 6. Wow. I've got 5 shift. I can take that down 4, but I can't. I miss. Wow, that's amazing. And then his go 4, 6, which he can shift that one to the beak jab, which is 6 minus 1, which is 1 point of damage. 31. And then my hit 2, 4. I can shift that up to incisive heft, which gives me, oh my god. John, thank you for being here, my friend. Appreciate it. This fight's really dragging out. 2, 3. Cannot shift. Can he shift? Yeah, he can shift it up to his beak jab, which is no damage. Some low rolls coming in. I get a 1, 6, which means I miss. Oh my god. And then he gets a 4, 4, which he can shift his talon slash, which is 3 D3. This is 1 damage. Takes me down to 30. Wow. I think we should go on for this one. And then 3, 3. We can shift that to, yeah, incisive heft. D6 plus 1. 3 damage. There we go. Minus 1. The Gawler 2 is killed. Fantastic. Okay, right. We managed to survive. Incidentally, I was going to draw some nests on here as well. They look a bit like these gorse bushes, but they're kind of more scraggy. Let's do this. There we go. Some nests. Yeah. Well, you heal at the end of each turn, so we'll go over that in a sec. Right, some nests on there. Gawler 2's killed. Now we get 2 bags of feathers. 2 bags of colourful feathers. Now they may well come in handy for some decoration. 2 bags of colourful feathers. There we go. And another 50 points on the experience. Fantastic. I have a trip coming up and need to reprint my books, but don't want to have to do it again before I leave. Completely unrelated, but I missed the beginning of the stream where I'd actually, well, I usually ask things like this, but are there any anticipated updates to IST in the next 2 weeks? No, there aren't. Late to the stream, but hello, Kirill, how are you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, well, we've done 6 turns here on the map, which is looking fantastic, and our character has survived. He used the mental whip, so we'll cross that off there, and that gave him some extra healing because he misfired. It misfired, if you like, but in a good way. Okay. Awesome stuff. So, we claimed this land here. Gawler 2 nests. The total building area is 6. The shrubland, did it say on there what the size was? Gawler 2 nesting grounds, we could call that. There's also something to roll on here as well. So we could roll on the table. There's an item in the nest that looks a bit unusual. Where is it? Oh, it's aha, it's a smaller table. Here we go. SI shiny item table. 1d6. Here we go. 2. A chunk of nickel. You need to collect metals for your legendary weapon, and for certain you can gifts and stuff like that. You can give to Kaladir, the god, stuff like that. It didn't say in there the shrubland. Let's just get this up again. Shrubland 2 remains shrubland. So it's an area of 600, but you can build on shrubland as well. Okay, David, what I'm loving about this game is I'm a huge Final Fantasy fan. When I'm playing 2D6 Dungeon, it's like playing Warlock of Arctic Mountain. This new open world game, it's like playing Sorcery. Fantastic. Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah, I love the Sorcery books. Okay, right. So it's the end of turn. I'm going to tick the houses. They're not quite finished because I forgot to tick one of them before. You can't do it retroactively. Right. So I've got to pay my taxes. I'll just find this. Finishing a turn. Here we go. Pay taxes. So my taxes are, if we look at the land that I have claimed, Felix. Oh yes, I recently played Final Fantasy as well. I love the Overland, the overlap with two. Yes, well, it's one of the inspirations for the game. You might have some housing restrictions due to the Gawler 2 nesting grounds. Need to keep the populace away from the danger. That is very true. That is very true. It didn't actually say it on the thing though, but I like that. I like your thinking. Anyway, we'll look at that next time. I'll probably write the name in on there as well. Gawler 2 nesting grounds. There we go. You can name different parts of your map. Feel free to do that when you play it. All right, finish your turn. Pay taxes. So taxes are on here. So we probably should have a total thing at the bottom here. 4, 6, 11, 17, 19, 29, 31, which is 3 gold and 1 silver. So there are penalties if you cannot pay your. So I'll cross the 3 gold off my realm ledger here. 2, 3, 5, and then off my character sheet I'll cross the silver off here, so that just becomes 1 there. Okay, so restore health, because you go back to your homestead. It's a month has passed. I will up the tracker on the thing there, on the round a month tracker card. Restore my health. Oh, it was at 30. How about that, eh? Didn't have to do that, but I will rub that out anyway. and 30 because I'm a level 3. Check realm awareness and modify unrest. So we are good. The realm wellness is at 0. So we aren't -4. If you have a look here. We had a temporary wellness, which has now gone because that was just 2. No, that's 2 turns. So we keep that. So wellness is 2. We're all good. Check for yearly events. We don't need that. We do have a monthly event though. We need to check the monthly. Put monthly here. Put that in there as well. Okay. Just pulled my dinner out of the oven. I need to run. Have a good rest of the stream. I will look out the updates book and get back to. Yes, before you go, actually, we are actually printing a physical version of IST. It's going to be an omnibus edition, an A6 printed version. We're printing it for the expo, but it will be available after that on the website. So it's an actual physical version of IST. We thought we'd do it. We looked at some pricing, and I put all the 5 books into one book. And that is something that will be bought. And that's, Jeff, just so you know, that is also with the latest update we did, not the Galaxy expansion. That will come later. Okay? I know your pain. I know your pain a bit. I lived through that. Mine are adults and they still won't eat things. My son actually asked for tacos the other day. There you go. Right, there's a monthly event. Right. Here we go. Where is it? Doo-doo-doo. Ah. Here we go. Nightal, I need to pop off as well. Thanks, Clive. It's just going to be a product you can buy a bit for the moment. I think maybe we will kickstart something with IST further down the line, but not at this stage. Right. Let's have a look. This is the This is the monthly events. Monthly events. REMVT one. And we'll see what event there is. 52. Artisan appears. An old friend and an adept artisan from town has appeared at your homestead and offered their help. They can be added to any working building and automatically upgraded to the next level. They count as a worker. They bring with them tools and equipment, so the leveling up is no additional cost to you. They stay permanently in your realm and do not take up a house or manor spot. Ooh, okay. So we're in round 6 in a sense. So what I could do is build another structure and put the artisan in there. I kind of just bend the rules slightly, but it kind of goes with the narrative. So we're going to build a building and get the artisan involved with the structure. Let's get the here we go. So I'm going to build I think let's go with a quarry. All right. Just check here. So I want to How many workers? Actually, I'm going to build a centralized store. And he's going to work in the store for the moment. I'm going to put a centralized store in plot 6 here. And actually in 3D DH, which is the, and I'm going to put the worker in because we've got a it's going to be house. Oh, that's the house and building. We need the other one. No. Land log, bear with me. There it is. Here we go. Building register. So in 3. My pencils run out. Let's just sod's law. Let's get another pencil. Okay. All right. So we're going to use plot 3. This is one of my kids' pens. It's got bunnies and butterflies on it. Wow. The first one that came to hand. So 3DH. Right. And the building type is a centralized store. Now this has 10% off building costs apart from upgrades within 10 squares, okay? Right then, their size is 6. Level is 2 because he upgrades it automatically. Gives you 10% off the cost of all building upgrades within 15 squares. Rank modifier is +1. So +1. And requires 1 worker, but we have a worker allocated. So you tick this box here, workers, and this starts at 1, and its HP is 8. So we'll fill this one in here. It will be fully, once it's finished, tick it each turn like we do the other ones, and then once it's finished, we get 10% off all buildings, building within 15 squares of this location. I'm going to draw a little building in here as well to indicate where that goes. Okay, now obviously that's something you've got to try and remember. Okay, but that is there in the realm on the opposite side here. Okay, awesome. Good. So that kind of works out really nicely. We're on to the second month, and we had an event. An artisan turned up in the land. He'd heard, word had spread that the thing was building, and lo and behold, he's joined and he's running the centralized. He's starting to build the centralized store in the near, well, not too near the deep hole where the guy died in that shrubland, just north. But he's kind of connecting up, and he can kind of get resources to places a bit more easily and gather them together and make them ready. Awesome. Okay, well, I think that worked. I'm really pleased with how that went. The map's looking good. We've got some nice little stories building there. We didn't actually explore any mini layers this time, but it was quite good in a sense because we just got to experience the land and how that's the shrubs and the grassland around it, and it's kind of there's a vibe going on. Cool. I think so. What we'll do is we'll leave it there. If you've got any questions, throw them at me now. we will be at UK Games Expo from Thursday to Sunday. So I'm going to try and do some live broadcasts from there on the phone. So the cameras are pretty good. The mic's pretty good. So I will show you around the stall that we've got and the awesome facade that my brother has made of a dungeon wall with the logo. So that's going to be good. When's the next stream, Paul? It will be, so there'll be some live broadcasts streams from the expo on one of those days, maybe a couple of the days. And then next week we'll do probably a Thursday stream next week. So, yeah, nice. So you last said you will send out the new version tomorrow. Yes. So I think we're going to send it out tomorrow, I've decided, after all the discussion. Good luck for the prep and wishing you a safe journey to the NEC. If anybody is there, come up and say hello, please do. And if you say the secret phrase, I'm here for the blood ritual, I will give you a free gift, okay? You could say the secret words blood ritual. You don't have to say I'm here for the blood ritual because that may be a bit weird, people looking around. But if you want to just get really into it, you can. And I will give you the gift. And then we'll talk about that, which the gift will be available after the expo. But if you are there, come up and say hello, and that would be fantastic. Yeah, so we got lots of stuff on the stall, and I'll talk you through that when we do our live broadcast. Yeah, I know, Bill. A lot of people who watch, who play the game are in America, so unfortunately, yeah, you won't be able to make it. So I feel bad about that whole situation, obviously, but I also want to be able to offer people a gift who actually do make it there and say hello. The little gift will be available afterwards, and I will talk about that next week, and maybe we'll talk a bit about how the NEC, the event went on Thursday next week, which should be great. Okay, guys, good long stream today, and hopefully this all made sense, and it's largely there. Just a little bit of fine tuning, and no, it's looking good. I'm really pleased and feel positive about how it's gone. So I will catch up with you very soon. Thank you. Lovely finally catching up with your stream. David says, good to have you here, my friend. And Mark, thank you. See you on Friday, Mark says. Yeah, absolutely. See you then, Mark. Felix, take care, my friend. Take care, Paul. All you guys, Jeff, thanks again for all that work, Jeff. And I will see you very soon. Take care, guys. Take care.